Hello and welcome to She Means Business podcast. I'm Chloe, this is Olivia, and today we have the lovely Tori in with us.
So I'm so excited because we have the amazing Tori here, who is a fine line tattoo artist. Do you want to tell us about what you do and what made you get into the tattoo industry?
Yes, so I'm Tori Tattoo. Oh my God, I'm saying I hate introductions. So I'm Tori Tattoo. I've been tattooing for so many years now, and actually, I never wanted to be a tattoo artist, which sounds bizarre. I actually went to uni and did prosthetics at uni, which is so random.
Prosthetics. Oh my God, that's so different.
Yeah, so for film and TV, and I was like, that's what I want to do. And I got told literally at uni, yeah, good luck, there's no jobs in it.
Oh, stop it.
So I spent about 3 years of my life there. But as I was there anyway, my friends actually said to me, because we did a lot of art and stuff and CGI things with the degree. And she was like, you know what? I think you'd be really good at tattooing, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay,
Really?
I'll see how that goes. And then I was thinking about it for a while and I was like, should I do it? Should I see? And then I thought, right, okay, I'm going to find out how I can be a tattoo artist. And I found there's actually not a lot of information out there. It's just go and get an apprenticeship. And I was like, right, cool. I'll just take my uni portfolio and see what happens.
Yeah.
I didn't have an art portfolio, nothing. And I just went to a studio and was like, hey, I want an apprenticeship. So can I have one? Didn't know how to approach the situation. And they were like, all right, okay. Let's see how you get on. And I was like...
And you just went straight into it.
Yeah, and then...
That's amazing.
But obviously, while I was there, it was very intense. I didn't get paid. And I was like, right, okay, I need a job.
Yeah.
Because I finished uni, I need a job now. So what am I going to do? And I was like, right, love travelling. So I'm going to be a flight attendant and I'm going to travel.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be a tattoo artist and we'll see how it goes. Obviously, the flight attendant didn't work out very well. Seen some amazing places, but that didn't work out.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, okay, I'm going to just focus solely on tattooing. Now, with the apprenticeship that I was in, it was very I'd say old school, everybody was wanting to do realism or new traditional. And I was just very much very feminine.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I just want my own style. I'm not really enjoying what I'm doing. I love tattooing, but I'm not enjoying the styles I'm doing. I was getting a lot of walk-ins and I was like, right, okay, I need to do something different. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do PMU. I'm going to do a little bit of lip blush, a little bit of freckles. Loved that, but it wasn't me.
Yeah.
I'm very much
more
artsy, yeah. Even though that is very artsy, you've got to have a very good eye for detail.
Yeah.
I just wanted to push the limits a little bit more. And with tattooing, that's kind of what I could do. So I was like, right, I'm going to see what I can do. And I wanted to do fine line. Again, wasn't a thing years ago. No one did it in the UK. And I was like, how the hell am I going to do this? I don't know what to do. So I just stalked loads of fine line tattoo artists from America and was like, right, I'm going to learn their style and try to get really good at it. Stalked them for ages and was like, right, I'm just going to offer fine line. And
So you just started offering it?
Yeah, I was taking everything that I learned in my apprenticeship. I was like, right, okay, I'm just going to do it and see what happens.
Because I bet you learned so much about skin and obviously the basic technique, not basic, but the actual technique of tattooing.
Definitely.
So when you said stalks, on YouTube videos, Instagram videos, things like that.
Everything
for
that
you
I
to
could
follow
do.
And
Because that was before. I feel like TikTok's a big thing
TikTok
now.
is great to learn stuff, isn't it?
But back then it was YouTube.
Yeah.
Everyone used to upload training videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
Definitely. It was step-by-step guides.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I used to zoom the YouTube videos and what are they doing there?
Yeah,
Or
and really watch.
even Instagram, it wasn't really a massive thing. It
Yeah.
was just follow people that were on YouTube and just see how I got on.
Yeah.
Basically, I winged everything.
You winged
which
it.
sounds
I
stupid.
think the best things come from winging it sometimes.
Yeah. I feel like I had no
100%
plan.
winging everything.
There was no plan. It was just let's see. I was like, right, I'm just gonna do it and just let's see what happens, basically. And then I always go off on a tangent.
Okay.
And then I was like, right, I need to actually get better at what I'm doing because there was, other people creeping up doing fine line. And I was like, I want to be the best. So I'm going to find people and I'm going to get mentored by the best.
Yeah.
So I've travelled everywhere you could think of to try to get better. So America, Amsterdam, I'm going to Switzerland in December to learn more, and I was like, I'm just
Love that.
obsessed with learning. And even though like I've been doing it for so long now and I've built up a big clientele, like I still want to be better at what I do.
100%.
And I feel like learning just doesn't end. You guys are probably the same
Yeah,
with like
still
what you
learning,
do.
always.
Yeah.
Things change as well over time, like things develop
Yeah.
in our industry, and
100%.
learning other people's techniques and stuff is so important for you to be an amazing artist. So that's so good. Yeah.
And obviously you train now, don't you?
Yeah, I
So how
do.
you was the first
was.
the first trainer in the UK.
That is amazing.
So how did that come about?
Do you know what? Honestly, again, winged it. But like, it was conversations with my clients. Like, I always, when I do like my clients' tattoos, I'm like, we're going to do this step and now we're going to do this. And I thought about actually going back to uni for a long time. So I ended up doing, like in COVID in 2020, I actually went back, but did everything online.
Yeah.
And I did all my teaching online because I knew eventually I was going to teach, but I just didn't know when or what I would do or if I could even teach this.
Yeah.
So problem in my industry is there's not a lot of tattoo apprenticeships, or people don't really want to offer them to a lot of people. And I find like you don't always need a tattoo apprenticeship to be able to tattoo. There's a lot of people who are self-taught artists that are amazing, but I wanted to kind of give my style to people who was doing like YouTube videos, just trying and learning. I wanted to kind of bring like what I had to learn to get where I am, to bring it to like students who wanted to learn off me. And conversations with my clients, like I had one client, she'll probably watch this podcast because she always gets tattooed. She just said, why don't you teach this? Like, I actually want to learn this. And I was like, I can't do this because all the big tattoo gurus in the industry will cancel me. Like, I can't do this. But then I thought to myself, like, life is short. I've got something to give, so why not do it? Winged it. I actually did one of my first training with an artist called Summer. She's from Etch Cosmetics.
Oh yeah, I follow her.
She's very well known in like
Yeah.
PU.
So you trained her?
No, well, yeah, I ended up training her, but
Yeah.
I reached out to her. I was actually on holiday in Turkey, and I was like, right, I don't have a training clientele. I've got a clientele, but I didn't have a training base. So I thought, right, I've got the room in my studio to do it, but I want to go, like, obviously coming from that flight attendant background too, like, I want to travel and enjoy that. So I thought, let's ask. Let's see. Drop them an email. And I think within an hour they said, why don't you do training here? And I was like, yes,
Amazing.
I'm going to do it.
Oh, so is that where you did your first course?
Yeah, my first ever one.
That's
And
I think that's actually because I followed her for a while because obviously
Yeah.
she does amazing semi-permanent makeup, and I think that's where I first saw you and followed
Yeah.
you from seeing you there. Yeah.
oh, she had like a massive influence into how like my training has like kind of took off really.
Oh, that's so nice.
And yeah, she's obviously amazing as well. But she was interested in it, so she did end up training with
she?
me as
Yeah.
well. But when I obviously booked the train, I was like, I don't actually have a course.
Yeah.
So I need to actually make a course
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I had like plans, like what I was going to do, but it had to be because I knew people were going to do this
Yeah.
after me. It had to be the best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
And I had to put everything into it. So people walked away and went, God, that was worth so much more.
Yeah.
Like than what I paid basically. And I was like, I need to give a lot of value. I need to give a lot of knowledge behind. Obviously, it was hard for me because I didn't really come from that teaching background. But I worked with a lot of people, obviously customer service skills. Like I worked with a lot of clients. So I was like, I know I can pull this off. I know I can do
100%.
it.
Yeah.
And I think when you're so passionate and obviously so knowledgeable about what it is, even though you're not a teacher, like we've never been
like,
teachers, but
you can just
we-
teach.
you know-
like,
you know
what
because
you're
talking
you know
about.
you know what you need to give across.
Yeah.
And it's
Definitely.
just sharing.
how
the
many
knowledge.
days is the course if someone joined?
So I did a PMU conversion course that is
okay.
3 days, but they have 4 weeks of online training.
Right.
But the one that I actually push quite a lot because I think it's a lot better in my opinion, just from trial and error and things that I've done in the past, is my tattoo mentorship.
Right.
So that is 4 weeks of in-house training with me.
Oh, okay.
So it's very small classes, 2 days a week, and they get basically an apprentice style.
Yeah.
But in my studio under my
A
guidance,
lot more experience.
a lot more experience.
Yeah, that's amazing. Very hands-on, and that's what
Definitely.
you need, because even though you can obviously learn so much in 3 days, but then it's very much down to that person to go
That's
out,
it.
perfect it for weeks on end, isn't it? But if they can come to you for 2 days every week, that's an amazing way of doing it and making sure that they're perfecting the skill.
Definitely. And I kind of like can nurture them sort of as they go as well. And I feel like when I've seen like a lot of my students that have come to me and done this mentorship, like it's literally changed their life. Like I had a girl, actually, I put it on my Instagram story this morning. She emailed me and was like, because she's got a little boy, and she took a loan out to basically train with me.
Yeah.
And she was like, you've just changed my entire life. And that makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Like no matter what, I was like, I just want to change people's lives.
Yeah,
Because
that's the thing. We
changed
always
mine.
say that, like it's just like empowering other women and like
it's so rewarding. Like it's like a full circle moment when you're teaching that student, because we were once them like a beginner and they look at you with these big like deer eyes, like what the hell am I doing? But then watching them grow and like changing their life and being able to afford, you know, a lifestyle maybe that they couldn't before or whatever is so rewarding.
It is. And I feel like I always say to my students, like, well done for taking like the first step.
Yeah, because not many people can do that.
No.
They procrastinate. They're like, oh, I'll do it next year.
Yeah,
or
especially if
think
they've
of
never worked for
excuses.
themselves. Like if you're used to a 9 to 5, people are so comfortable and so scared of that change of like having to do everything themselves and not having that regular income. It's a massive leap.
It is.
It's hard as well because like I feel like we've all here been in a position where we've had no money and just winged life.
Absolutely.
Like, I'll just pay for that course. It's fine.
Yeah.
And you think, I'm going to be skimmed for a month.
I
but
say
it's
this to my
all right.
students, right? You know, sometimes when you don't know whether you should pay for something, like money goes round in circles. Like it always comes back. Like if you just keep, I don't believe in that. Like keep saving.
No.
You have to spend money to make money.
100%.
100%. Like you have to. And like I've always had this thing since I was young. Like if I even had £100 in my bank and you said, do you want to go here? It's £99.99.
Oh, I'm there.
I'm there.
Bells on.
I'm absolutely there. Like I'm never ever saying no. Like, and then if I hadn't got enough money when I'm younger, I'm taking a credit card or I'm doing this. Like I'm never missing something I want to do
because of money.
Because then I think like the life's
and
too short.
I actually think when people have less and they go into, for example, say if your course was £1,000 and I had £1,100 in my bank, but I really wanted to do it. By having such little, it kind of pushes you to work fucking harder than,
100%.
all right, I'm loaded, I'm going to do the course. And then I teach girls like this. They've got like rich boyfriends who just pay for the course. They never do anything with it. It's actually the girls who, you know, are maybe struggling at the minute who go all in, and it just, they do so much better. It's all or nothing. It's like, have to go for it and make it work. What I love about you and your brand is you give a lot of value in education on social media. We both do that actually, don't we? Give lots of value. Do you find that a struggle to create this content, keep on top of it with everything else going on, or do you quite enjoy it?
I have a love-hate relationship with content. Some things work that take me ages to do, and then some things I do that's took me 20 seconds works better. And it's a bit frustrating. I'd say I love it though, because I like, even like if it come on like your page, I've not been on your page yet, but like I look and like, even if it's like something I learn from it, I'm following you. Like I want to like stay on top with like 100%. What you're doing. And I feel like content is just such a big part of your business, and like showing your face even when it feels like really uncomfortable. I think for me, like, because the tattooing industry is so taboo, like it is a scary industry. Like people will rip you apart for like talking about things and having an opinion. And I feel like I had to get over that because I wanted to be a personal brand, and I wanted to give people value through my content, because tattooing, there's not a community like there is for PMU and aesthetics. Like it is a very, very small-minded industry, and I wanted to make a big change.
That's amazing.
And I'm slowly, hopefully, doing that.
It's actually amazing how much it's kind of changing, because if I think of a tattoo artist, and this is quite stereotypical and bad, but I think of like a man covered in tattoos, because that's who's done my tattoos previously. But like we have these amazing young gorgeous girls now, super talented, and it's incredible how much it's changing. Does that make it quite scary for you?
I think because I'd been around big scary men, I wasn't too bothered about that. But I suppose other people have come to me and said, You don't look like a typical tattoo artist, and I don't take it to offence. I kind of, to be honest, I kind of like it because I'm like, well,
you stand out.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, at least something's working, I guess. And like I was saying before, like I don't have many tattoos, so you wouldn't probably look at me as like a tattoo artist, but I feel like you don't have to like look like one to be one, because I feel like even like age and stuff, like I've got like students that are like 50 and they've been like, is it too late? And I'm like, no. I'm like, Vera Wang was like 60 before she like designed her own dress. And like Samuel Jackson was like 50 before he actually did like like an actor. So like I feel like age, what you look like shouldn't matter.
No, it's all about the now, like what you want to do now. That's all that you can really worry about.
That's it. So
what steps what would you say have been the steps over your career, like to grow it?
Do you know what? Like, again, I keep saying I winged it, but I genuinely have. I suppose, like, to like grow, I think it has been coming on social media for me and like being very niche. I think like I only took on designs that I wanted to do for a long time because I really wanted to get across, this is the style that I'm doing. I'm not doing, someone comes in the door and wants this. Like, I want to show my style to everybody. And I think I'd probably took a bit of an L with that, with my income, because I wasn't earning a lot at the beginning because that's what I wanted to do. But I feel like it's helped me grow my brand and help people see me as, okay, you go to Tori for
you're
fine
the
line.
go-to for that.
Yeah.
You don't go to Tori for realism, or you don't go to Tori for neo-traditional, like you're going to here for fine line. And I really wanted to get that across. And I feel like I tell this to my students, and again, just on my platform all the time, you need to niche.
Yeah.
I think niching is in my opinion the best way forward, and the way that you're going to be able to like grow your brand and like set yourself as like the best in the industry as well.
What do they say? If you're speaking to everybody, you're speaking to nobody. So finding your niche and really honing in on that is amazing, isn't it? And I think for you as well, like all the education you give is probably what makes you stand out as like an authority for people to want to book in with you. Are you busiest with clients or teaching?
Do you know what? Everyone thinks I'm really busy with students, but it's a bit of a mixed balance. I think I've probably shown my social media a lot more education, which some people might not think I do appointments at all, but I'm about a 50-50. I do as much clients as what I do training. Because I just believe, like, I'd love to just do training, but I believe that I'm not going to be able to give people value and give people sometimes I'll say, you know what, I did this last night on a client, this worked wonders, or this product I've changed, that's different. I'm not going to know that if I'm not doing clients.
You have to still keep your hands busy.
And I love it as well, because like my clients are totally different to my students. And again, I educate my clients all the time. They're probably sick of me, to be honest, but they always come back. So
I love that. Do you have a lot of return clients, like coming back for more?
A lot. I tend to get, you know, a lot of first timers never had a tattoo before, and I get a lot that have fully covered in tattoos that had tattoos years ago or haven't actually found a style that they like, and then they come to get like a small tattoo with me and they're like, can you finish off my entire arm? Because this is the style I wanted, but I couldn't find it. I still think, as much as it's been going for like years, like it's still not a big enough industry yet. And I think it's got time.
Because I don't know many people, like when you were saying earlier, you were saying to us before the podcast about doing someone's whole leg. Like you don't see it regularly, do you? Like I don't think I've seen anyone that I know
covered in fine line.
And I think that would be so pretty.
You'd be surprised, there's actually a lot of artists in like Europe and things that specialise in like the full body fine line as well. And I think in this country it's pretty much like a lot of people just see fine line as small dainty tattoos, but it's actually not.
Because that's what you see. I think that's what I picture it as,
it's
like,
just like
a little fine line or a little cross. Or...
What's tiny tattoos? Is that
still fine line?
It's still fine line.
So
just
fine
another...
line is just the style. So the tiny tattoos is just basically like you could say like, okay, PMU, but then there's lips, there's brows, aesthetics, there's Botox, there's fillers, there's everything. So like this is just a particular style of tattooing. But tiny tattoos has grown massively over the past 2 years, and I think social media has done that.
It's a bit of a trend at one point, wasn't it? It's like everyone, you've got one.
Definitely.
That smiley face.
Oh yeah, I've got a smiley. It's not bloody fine line though. I got it done at
Let me see.
I got it at a festival.
That is not fine line. That's
No.
wonky.
No, so you know what? Actually,
it was
two
meant
stories
to.
with this. Imagine
It's
this, right?
cute.
So I was at a festival, obviously,
Wow,
like
in
a little
Thailand?
bit, yeah, obviously a little bit tipsy. Me and my friend was like, let's get a tattoo. So they've got the like tattoo thing in there. Went in there, telling them, I'm like, right. So they only had like 10 designs that you could have because it's just like a tattoo pop up. So we're like, let's have the smiley face. They put the smiley face on her without the love heart. Like what? No.
Like a circle?
Oh no, we wanted the love heart.
Oh.
We wanted the love heart.
And she put a smiley face in it?
Yeah, so on her, this was the original thing, but we were like, no, we want the love heart without the smiley face.
Oh.
So they put the love heart on Nikki and she had it. So they're like, and I'm like, yeah, same as her. Anyway, I'm sitting there getting mine done. She's like, you've got a smiley face.
Put a smiley face in it.
She's like, you've got a smiley face. I was like, oh, fuck's sake.
That's the only thing with like events, isn't it? Because I do like weddings and stuff now, and like you've.
Oh, that's
like,
cute at wedding.
That's a cute
It
idea.
is like I seen it in like America, and I was like, we need to do this here because if I got married, that's what I would want.
Same.
Yeah.
But like festivals, I feel like, I mean, I would care what I'm putting on my clients, but I think some artists probably don't.
Oh yeah, they're just like, no.
And you probably don't really know either.
Yeah, a few drinks in.
I probably wouldn't care either. I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh, the next day, and I was like getting married a few months later. I was like, great, I've got that on my wedding art, out in my wedding dress.
That's hilarious.
Right.
This is probably a bit of a silly question, but with fine line tattooing, is the needle smaller than, for example, what I've had here? Or is it the same needle and it's literally technique?
So it's a bit of both.
Bit of both.
So yeah, it is technique, how it's actually put in the skin and how like you move your arm and how you actually, like I see fine line a lot of the time, like it's like you're drawing a picture. Like you have to be super, super delicate when you're working with it to obviously avoid migration, poor ink retention. But it is the needles, or smaller needles that we're working with.
Yeah.
So I don't actually use a 1 round liner. And a lot of people think it is a 1 round liner that I use. I use a 3 round liner, so 3 little needles.
I use that for, it's
Do
the
you?
same
Yeah.
in permanent makeup
That's
and
mad
lips.
that it's the 3 when it's such a fine line.
I find like 1 round liners, like they cause a lot of trauma to people's skin, and I just find
More
like
scratchy,
they migrate
isn't it?
faster,
Yeah.
and it's harder to actually maintain the ink in the skin with a 1 round liner. You can get the same effect from a 3, in my opinion. Just use a smaller diameter.
Yeah.
And it just looks
Yeah. Amazing. It just looks fab. I love that. So what are the big goals for Tori Tattoo over the next year or two?
God,
What's anything new in the pipeline or?
do you know what? Honestly, I'm just kind of sailing through at the minute, but I would say long-term goals. I am, and I've not really told anybody this, but I am
exclusive.
looking at trying to expand and become more of an off-qual regulated centre.
Oh,
amazing.
amazing.
But it's so hard
Yeah.
because it's not really like tattooing. You go down the apprenticeship route or you get mentoring. It's not really a course that at the minute is seen in like a college environment.
Yeah.
But after speaking with a lot of like students who might not be able to do it or commit to the training, I would like to sort of have something in place that is regulated, because I know there's a lot going on right now in like the aesthetics, PMU world, and I think as much as I'm accredited and things like that, I feel like there's more that I would like to do in the industry to kind of tackle down on poor training.
Yeah, because that's it. It's
well.
not what you offer. It's about what other people offer. And
Yeah.
it's like some people do literally just train. I mean, people literally in all of our industries, like you just could train today and then tomorrow open your own
Scary.
academy. And it's like,
It's scary.
how can you do that? It's crazy.
Scary.
Like, it's so weird.
I've trained so many girls who've had horrendous training, and it's so sad. And I actually, oh my God, I was in America, and I probably can't put this out on Instagram, but anyway, I was speaking at this girl's class, and she did 3 days teaching them microblading, powder brows and lip blush, and there was 19 girls, and about 5 of the girls after that booked in with me to retrain them, and they showed me the work that she was training them with, and I was just thinking, why have these girls even booked on the course? It was so bad, so bad. There needs to be more like rules put in place. Like I don't know how she was a teacher. It was horrendous.
How can you have 19 people on a course
For 3 days to learn 3 techniques.
That is crazy.
With one teacher, and her work wasn't the best. It was actually awful.
I always wonder how people book in, because like,
why did they book in? This is what I said to the students. What made you want to book into that course? Because if I saw her work, I would not be booking in.
Yeah.
And they said she's very big on saying you're going to make 100k in 5 months. You know, that kind of marketing, which is fine. You can make a lot of money, but not with that technique. You're not. Do you know what I mean? You'll get no clients. So they got hooked in. They were marketed.
And
very,
you're learning
very well.
3 techniques in 3 days. It's like, how can you get good at one of them techniques?
Yeah,
Like
you can't.
You can't.
Yeah.
No. I see this a lot. You know, do you know what? I've got a friend who she trains PMU, and she's amazing at like hyperrealism brows. I think she does. And I'd say she's more on the expensive side to train. And of course, not a lot of people can afford to train with her, but she does like mentoring and things like that. And she always gets like the same academy who pulls out this, can I swear on this?
Yeah.
Shite work, like literally so bad. And she's always like, why are people booking on this? And I see it with tattooing. Like, I suppose my pet peeve, I don't really talk too negatively about this on social media, but like, I think eventually it needs to be spoken about. And I don't understand how people can teach tattooing when they've got no background in tattooing at all, and they do it purely for profit.
Yeah.
And people book on, like, I am probably, even though I was the first to do it, tattoo artists with, you know, a big clientele and things, like, and my style is fine line, like, there's actually academies that are way busier than me that do training for like £400, £700.
Do you think they're so busy because they're a bit cheaper?
I think so, yeah. And I do get a lot of their students that come to me and say, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that is, again, for PMU and aesthetics as well, that is scary when someone says they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then I'll say, you know, I think you need to be retrained. But some people don't want to be retrained either because they have to pay out again. Which I understand it's expensive, but I do think, and I say this, like, I think you get what you pay for.
Yeah, 100%.
And you have to, I think you have to learn for any technique or thing, like anything you want to learn, you need to learn off someone who's experienced, who's been doing it for years. Like a lot of these academies that I see now, you could go to an academy and they do everything at that academy. So say they do like brows and they do lip blush and they do tattooing and they do skin and they do aesthetics and they do all of these different things and nails and a lot. And then you look on the thing and I'm like, it's nearly the same teacher teaching every single class. So I think that teacher is just learning them things to teach. She doesn't actually have any experience. So how is she going to know the ins and outs of like what would happen if this happened? Like she's not going to know because they're not going to have any experience to compare it to. Bad. And like I think you should have like, there should be a set amount of like, you've got to have like 3 years or 4 years or whatever experience in that thing.
Be an educator.
Like, because otherwise how can you teach someone something that you don't know?
They're literally just churning it out for money, aren't they?
Scary.
It's so bad.
It is so bad.
And I think it kind of dilutes the industry in a bad way as
really
well.
Bad.
And to be honest, all this kind of churning out like artists and they don't know what they're doing, that's also adds a knock-on effect to my business as well.
Yeah. Because
I've had, you know, tattoo artists with 20 years experience message me and be like, you shouldn't be mentoring anybody, they need to go on an apprenticeship. But they haven't looked at my social media, they don't know who I am, they just presume I'm another one of these academies that does this. They haven't took the time until I educate them, well actually I'm not like that. And I actually deny a lot of people who I don't think
that you can train. I've recently started doing that because there's literally 2 types of people in the world, and there's nothing worse for us teaching someone who is not going to actually put the work in, because everything starts after they leave the training days with you.
100%.
And I can tell within the first 5 seconds with the student walking through the door if they're going to succeed or not. So now I'm like interviewing students to see if it's worth their time and my time as well to even take the course, and if they're going to do anything with it. And I think that shows us being good teachers, actually having you know,
Yeah, I do
a bit
the
of a
same for all of
policy in
my
place.
courses. We
Yeah.
have, if someone does like an inquiry form, they then have to go on and book an onboarding call, and it's like an interview.
100%.
And I say to them in their little thing that says about the call, I say like, you ask us any questions and we'll be asking you, because also it's like if there's 2 students on a class and one comes on and one's just really not interested, and like you need to have
last week.
Yeah.
Oh, do tell.
I had a girl. I was teaching her, and she did brows and lips. This was the last course that if someone wanted to come on a course, you know, I'm going to teach them. You want to come? That's great. So this girl's come, brows and lips. She was late every single day. On the model day, she was 6 hours late. So we were meant to start at 8:30. Oh, sorry, 5 hours late. My maths was bad. She came in at 1:30 p.m. And I'm texting her, and she'd driven down from Leeds. And I was a bit worried because she was staying in a hotel in Manchester. And she'd not been on WhatsApp since like midnight the night before. And I was like, oh my God, imagine something's happened to this girl. I was like, where are you? Where are you? Her models come, super excited to get her lips done. So I had to do the model's lip blush and like watch my other 2 students who were on time and doing their models. And then she strolls in at 1:30. I'm so sorry. I was like,
How could you like?
I know, you just couldn't. But then I felt a bit bad. It was like a health related thing. She has an oxygen mask to sleep, and it didn't work in the hotel. So she had a really bad sleep and didn't wake up. So then I felt really bad. But I was like, okay, that's fine. Let's get to work. Do not let this happen again. So that was for the lips. And then we had the brow training late every single day. Every single break, I would say, okay, you've got 40 minutes. She'd take an hour and a half. And I just said to her on the last day, I couldn't hold it in anymore. I was like, you need to respect people's time more, because not just I don't care because you're paying me, like whatever. But the other girls were sat waiting around, and it's like, you've not come into this with like the right intentions. And so it really pissed me off.
How is she gonna like be on time for clients?
Yeah.
Like,
I'd love to know.
Because like when you go to a course, you're paying a lot of money to go on a course. Like you want to get the most knowledge out of it. Like if I go to a training course, I'm there like 2 hours early. I'm sitting outside and I'm like, I don't need a lunch break. I just want to spend my lunchtime questioning the teacher. Like, what's this? I don't want to be like going out and having a chat with my mate on the phone. I'm like, I want the knowledge.
Yeah, and this is why that was the last class that I would let just anyone join, because she's took multiple courses. She does aesthetics, makeup, nails, but she's never grew it. And if I knew that, I know that she's, she's trying things. Bless her, she loves to do courses. She's actually at university for aesthetics. Did you know you can do that?
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't. She's studying aesthetics at uni.
Is it level 7?
No, that's not uni.
Is that not it?
No, that's because that's just an off-call. You can just do that with any centre.
She's at uni. But like, if I knew that, then I'd probably think, why have you not stuck at one thing? Do you know what I mean? I would have been a bit more hesitant taking it on. But.
Do you not think people though, like if it doesn't work out straight away, they need to go and do everything? Do you know what I mean?
Like
other nails, and then going like, okay, I need to do aesthetics. I need to do
I think you need to pick your one thing that you're. Yeah, because you need to be passionate about something. You can't be passionate about doing hair and nails and lips and this and that. Like you can't. And you're never going to get too good at that particular thing. Yeah.
It's like
you're not going to
hairdressers.
get enough practice,
Like they wouldn't, like hairdressers specialise in like different areas, don't they? But you don't really see a hairdresser then, doing
lashes.
Cuttings,
but doing that like full time. They might do like an hour a week or whatever. Exactly. It's never really full time.
Yeah. I think as well, people, when they do come into one of our industries, a lot of people expect things to happen overnight, or like, it's like instantly going to get clients and instantly be fully booked, but it really doesn't work like that. It's such a long process. Like you have to work so hard.
People aren't prepared sometimes for that journey, and it's like, it's a lot, especially when you do go into it on your own, because you're doing everything for your business, and people do expect that they can just put one post on and like all these bookings are going to come flooding in, like everyone's going to be knocking at your door. Like it's going to take a lot of work.
Yeah. And some people are not prepared for
it. And a lot of practice as well. Like you can't just go on a course and expect people to just be queuing up. Like you need to go and do more modules and more practice and get yourself out there and continue learning. You can't just, it's not an overnight thing. You don't just become amazing.
100%. So your big goal is Ofqual regulated. Love that.
And so finishing it off, what would you say is like a big tip, like your biggest tip for someone in business?
Ooh, oh, that is a hard one. Biggest tip, I'd say, I don't know. No, I'd probably say biggest tip, if they're not in business right now, but they want to actually do something, but they don't know what they want to do. I would say take the risk, because the risk is better than staying in the place that you are right now.
Yeah.
Because coming into like business, I believe like even if I had no money, and I always say this, I was on the bones of my ass, I would still try and make it work. I couldn't go back to a 9 to 5.
No.
Or flying. I couldn't do it.
No.
And I think as well, like if you are in tattooing and you're struggling to grow your clientele, probably my biggest tip is to get yourself on social media, your face on there. As hard as it is, you need to be consistent with your content.
Yeah.
And if you're not consistent, you know, your competitors are going to override that, because people look at everybody and everybody is copying off everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to grow.
And if you're not on there, no one can see you.
Yeah, exactly. And you're having like such a, you know, one-to-one.
You want to like that person. You want to like, whenever I book any treatment, no matter what it is, 9 times out of 10, it's because of the person who's doing it. I like to see, you know, their style, what they like, because I'm going to relate to that. So yeah.
And I think like it's just really, really important to put yourself on social media and your face. And it is scary, embarrassing and a bit cringy, but
Just
like,
gotta do it.
it is. And like those people who might judge you, who even are they?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
doesn't
And
matter.
they probably wish that they had the balls to do what you're doing. So just do
They
it.
are not paying your bills.
That's it. They're not paying your bills. Like they're probably not booking in with you. So why does that matter? The opinion doesn't matter.
Exactly.
I just think like it's such, like, I'm sure your industries are exactly the same. It's just such a nice feeling knowing you work for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
Scary one, but it's a nice one.
Yeah.
But managing your own time and it is amazing. And just to finish off, where can people find you? I see you've just started YouTube. How's that going?
Do you know, it's going quite well. You know, I've always wanted to do it, right?
Same.
And I watched like El Darby and like people like that. And I'm like, how can I do this for tattooing? Like it has to be something tattoo related. And I thought I like to educate people on Instagram, TikTok. So I just not go on YouTube, do longer videos and like snippets of things that you can learn with me.
Yeah.
And it's going pretty well.
Yeah.
Like I'm still working it out, still trying to figure out how I'm uploads and everything on it and a theme that I've got with it. But you know, I want to be everywhere.
Are you going to do some more like, because I looked on YouTube, and are you going to do some more like behind the scenes, like vloggy style, or just very education, or is it going to be a mix?
It's definitely going to be more personal as well, especially with YouTube.
Yeah.
Because
people can really get to know you then.
Yeah,
can't
people
they?
love a vlog.
Yeah.
I love watching people vlog. Day in their lives,
Just
what
doing
you've
your
been up
makeup
to.
and talking
Love
about
it.
like a class or something. Like I would love that. Yeah.
It's like I need to know what people are having for the tea.
Yeah.
Like, I need
Same.
to know
What
you're
do
wearing.
you eat?
That's it. Like, but then I can listen about tattoo and whatever you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'll listen to it and I'll take it in. But I've been filming all year because I knew I was going to do this YouTube. So when I've been doing like guest spots like overseas, I was like, right, I'm filming where I am, what I'm doing, and I'm going to just put it all into like a YouTube. So I'd say this year has been more like building up for launches that's coming soon, like online training, things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, YouTube's going to be a big thing, I think, for end of 2024 into 25. I want to push it.
Exciting. We'll be supporting. And your Instagram is, we'll put the handle on so people can follow Tori and have a look. She's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It was so nice to speak to you.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Bye.